Now to Washington, there are new revelations involving President Donald Trump and the military aid to Ukraine that's at the center of his impeachment trial. The new information comes as the trial moves ahead again today. CBS's Laura Podesta joins us now live from New York. Good morning, Laura. What came out of the New York Times this weekend?
Good morning, Allie. So the New York Times got its hands on parts of the unpublished book by former National Security Advisor John Bolton, in which he writes that President Trump told him he wanted to maintain a hold on military funding until Ukraine launched political investigations into President Trump's Democratic rivals. So this all comes as the president's defense team prepares for their second day of opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial today. The defense team, certainly going to have to address these new revelations and what Bolton is writing in this new book, but it's likely not to change the lawyer's main messaging, which is the claim, the baseless claim, that Ukraine interfered in the 2016 election and that President Trump had every right to withhold military aid to the country as that was investigated. Allie.
And Laura, you're also following international developments that pertain to the coronavirus. The number of infected people has climbed outside of the city of Wuhan. What can you tell us?
Unfortunately, that's true, and China says it's stepping up its efforts to contain the deadly coronavirus, but we know now that it's killed at least 80 people and infected more than 2,700 others. So China has extended the Lunar New Year holiday in order to keep the public at home, avoid spreading the illness further. Meantime, the U.S. consulate in Wuhan, where the virus was first detected, says it is arranging to evacuate its staff and other Americans tomorrow. Allie.
Okay, thank you, Laura. And then the Grammys were last night at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, the same place where, of course, the LA Lakers play. Laura, how was the show affected by Kobe Bryant's death? We saw bits and pieces of him throughout the show.
It was certainly affected. So it took it affected a lot of the performers that you could see were coming up to accept their awards. It also affected the people who were there to perform a song. Alicia Keys, who opened the show, said that we're literally taking the air, heartbroken, in the house that Kobe Bryant built. Outside, there were grieving fans. Many of them set up memorials in the parking lot. As far as the award show itself, we know that a lot of the people who were expected to take home awards did so. Lizzo, Billie Eilish, they cleaned up. Lizzo took home 3 awards and Eilish received 5, including Song of the Year, Best New Artist, and Album, and Record of the Year. Allie.
Yeah, I think I was even surprised by all the awards that Billie Eilish won. Laura, always great to chat with you. Thank you. Coming up later this morning, we're chatting with one of the Twin Cities' best-known radio hosts, Dave Bryant, to get his thoughts on the Grammys award show last night. Can't wait to chat with him. And it wouldn't be the Midwest without a little bit of roller coaster weather.
So what do you really think about this January warm-up? We spoke to a couple of people to find out.
And don't forget, we are now streaming on CBSN Minnesota. Find us on any of your devices by downloading the CBS News app.